In the previous lesson, we saw how we can import models from outside in Rhino to use them as a reference or just use them in our project, and also to study how they are done. So I imported, for example, this window here, and this was before an entire mesh. It wasn't divided into two pieces. And from this, I study how it was made, and I created a similar window right here, a more simplified window. Now, of course, we need to start with simplified and generic objects like draft, and then we can apply more details after we define the general things. So we start from the bigger things, the general things, and then we get into more details and into more details. So this was a solid created in, or a polysurface created in Rhino, closed polysurface. And this was an imported mesh. And what's the difference between these two? Well, essentially for the mesh, you need to use the mesh tools. And for the solids, standard polysurfaces and surfaces in Rhino, you need to use the solid tools or the SMT tools, surface tools, etc., etc. So for concept design or massing design, you can also start with a generic shape and then create voids inside, create walls and then floors and then roofs, and then you can distort and model. And you can do it with polygonal modeling, you can do it with curves and other tools that we find in Rhino. So let me just create a new box here, mesh box. So this is exactly like the box that we have, the standard box that we have in the solid tools, except that one is done with NURBS and the other one is done with faces. I can also snap here to make it the same height. Okay, so you can see the difference. Here we don't have all these subdivisions. We only have like the major lines, and that's the characteristic of NURBS instead of like a mesh object. But in the end, they are all there are two boxes. So for the mesh here, if I want to work on this, let's go to the mesh tools. And let's say I want to separate things. I want to extract something that then I can use, let's say, as a window. So in that case, we want to find here the correct tool. So these are all the creation tools. So we have all the primitives. This one here is to close and to patch. And then we have also height field from image, which is really interesting, but I want to show you that later on. And then we have extract mesh from control polygon, another interesting tool. So if I go up here, I have more tools. And for example, here I can delete faces, and then I can work with the normals, which is the direction of a face, and then we can apply the mesh to an NURBS surface, etc. So we have a lot of tools. Also, we can convert a mesh to a NURBS. So now we converted this into a polysurface, which looks basically the same of that. It has all these subdivisions. And we can also do the other way. We can convert the mesh, sorry, the surface, the solid, into a mesh by clicking with the left. And here we need to choose the quality. Okay, so you can see that now this is a mesh object with less subdivision, has this oblique line though. So let's get to the point, and I can explain all these mesh tools, but perhaps later we will see more. And here we have the extract mesh faces. So there is a tool here that can basically separate parts of objects. So that's the operation we can do. We can also extract mesh face by area and by length and other type of extraction. So also edges. So I'm gonna go with the standard here, which is extract mesh faces. And so we now need to select the faces we want to extract. So if I want to create like windows here or things like that, I can just select parts of, or a door, whatever. So let's say I want to just extract these parts. Here I can press enter when I'm finished to select, and now these have been extracted. So for example, if I put this into another layer, like in the window layer, so change object layer, you can see I can have like some sort of, you know, concept design for what it could be, a building or whatever else. I mean, it's just, this is just linear design, but can be applied to many situations. And if I go in the render, well, we won't see the materials because this is just the layers, but we can apply also different materials. So in that case, we want to work here. So separating objects by materials, it's a good choice. And if I don't find what I'm looking for, I'm just gonna apply here a simple glass material. Let's give it like bluish color here. Okay, so we can see now the concept here, the basic. Then we will need to add the framing, etc. But we have similar tools that we saw also with the solid in the previous lesson, like inset. So again, there are a lot of similar tools between solid and meshes. So if I, for example, select this now and the block, we can also join like we did previously with the solids, or we can do difference, etc. If I join, you can see that I'm gonna lose that division of materials. So usually I separate to create more objects rather than join them together. And that's another, you know, way we can start, because in the previous techniques we started from importing 2D, and then we extruded that with the solid tools, solid extrusion. But we started with the plan view, or we started from zero, or we in Rhino here to draw everything, or we imported something from outside like a CAD file or an image or whatever. But we started from like a technical drawing. But another option is to start like completely free and create a 3D concept, skipping the 2D part and, you know, taking care of that later. So that's what I've done here. I created like 3 blocks, and then from that I am developing walls and roofs and floors, and then I can extract parts to create windows or doors and curtain walls, etc. Similarly to what I've done here. So if you want to work with the 2Ds and then convert them in 3D, that's fine. And then for each level you want to create, for each story, you need a different plan view, except if you have always the same plan for all the other floors. So you just need to copy these, you know, many times, or do an array and create the different floors. So I'm just doing here Control C, Control V, and copying this like to create skyscraper or whatever, depending on how many floors you want. Otherwise, instead of going already in the details, you can again build like massing design or concept design, and then define what things are what. And a similar process is also done in Revit, which is a building information modeling tool. So we either work in 2D and create the technical drawings, and then from there we can work in 3D. And you can do that with the AutoCAD, LibreCAD. It's only 2D, and FreeCAD it's 2D and 3D. So you can do the plan views and also the extrusion and the 3D. These are perfect tools for that. Or we can import 3D models as we saw before, and generally other 3D models that they're not done with Rhino, they're made with meshes. So if you use 3ds Max, Cinema 4D, Blender, usually you will have meshes. Meshes have their own modeling technique that we can see that partially we can do also in Rhino, but Rhino is mainly for NURBS, so we're gonna work mainly with NURBS. But if you're interested, you find this other software and also the courses about this in the channel. And building information modeling, I want to do an example with BIM, or building information modeling. Now we can extract from a building information modeling project both the 2D technical drawings and the 3D models, and also we can extract data for management, like to create to calculate the cost, or, you know, energetic calculation, etc. So BIM is the most complete tool that you can use in architecture. Now we are talking specifically for architecture rather than design, And there are many software out there, like for example, the most